Ever think about a career where you don't just do social work, but you actually shape how it's done?
Hmm.
That's what we're diving into today.
Yeah.
The world of a consultant social worker. We've got RoleCatcher's insights to guide us. So buckle up.
Get ready for like a career path that's all about impact. We're talking about the people behind the scenes, making sure social work services are like the best they can be,
Yeah.
constantly evolving, constantly improving.
Okay, so paint a picture for us.
Yeah.
What does a typical day look like for a consultant social worker? Is it all meetings and policy documents, or is there, more to it?
Think of it less like a rigid routine and more like a kind of constantly shifting landscape.
Well,
One day they might be leading a team on a brand new project. The next, they're training other social workers on the latest breakthroughs. And then they could be diving deep into research for a policy initiative that could like change everything.
wow, that's way more dynamic than I pictured.
Yeah.
And speaking of dynamic, the role catcher guide mentions consultant social workers often collaborate with a whole bunch of different
Yeah,
people.
yeah. Collaboration is like key in this field. You're talking about working with everyone from, other social workers and healthcare professionals to policymakers and researchers.
Hmm.
They're the connectors, making sure everyone is on the same page and advocating for the best possible outcomes for the people they serve.
That makes a lot of sense. To build bridges like that, you'd need a really solid foundation, right?
Yeah.
What does the journey to becoming a consultant social worker look like?
It all starts with education, just like with, many professional careers. You're usually looking at a bachelor's degree in social work or something related, and then leveling up with a master's degree.
Okay, so hitting the books is definitely part of it, but the role catcher guide also emphasizes hands-on experience. Is that as crucial as getting those degrees?
Absolutely. It's one thing to learn the theory, but you need real-world experience to truly grasp the complexities of social work. Most consultant social workers have years of experience working directly with individuals and communities, honing their skills in different areas.
So it's about street smarts as much as book smarts.
Yeah.
You want someone who's been in the trenches, seen the challenges firsthand, right?
Exactly. And that experience is what allows them to bring valuable insights to the table when they're developing policies, designing training programs, or even just providing guidance to other social workers.
That totally tracks. Now, the guide also mentioned that there are specializations within this field, just like in other areas of social work. What are some areas that a consultant social worker might choose to focus on?
The possibilities are incredibly diverse. They could specialize in child welfare, mental health, substance abuse, gerontology, criminal justice, the list goes on. Specializing allows them to become like true experts in their chosen field, which makes their insights even more valuable.
So you could have one consultant social worker who's a specialist in helping children navigate the foster care system, while another is focused on creating more effective reentry programs for formerly incarcerated individuals.
Precisely. Each specialization comes with its own set of challenges and rewards, but they all share a common goal, um, to improve the lives of individuals and communities.
It's fascinating how much variety there is within this career path. It sounds incredibly rewarding, but I have to imagine it's not without its difficulties. What are some of the challenges consultant social workers might face?
One of the biggest challenges, and it's something the RoleCatcher Guide highlights, is the potential for burnout.
Yeah.
This is a field where you're constantly dealing with sensitive situations, advocating for vulnerable populations, and witnessing firsthand the impact of systemic issues. It can take an emotional toll.
Wow, I hadn't considered that, but it makes perfect sense. You're so invested in helping others, it must be incredibly draining at times.
It's essential for consultant social workers to prioritize self-care and maintain a healthy work-life balance.
Otherwise, they risk burnout, and that helps no one. They need to be firing on all cylinders to do their best work.
That's such a crucial point, and it makes me wonder, for those who are up for the challenge and excited about the potential impact, what resources are out there to help them land a job in this field? That's where RoleCatcher's tools come in, right?
Absolutely. And this is where things get really interesting. They've harnessed the power of AI to make the job hunting process way less daunting and help you stand out from the crowd.
Okay.
Imagine having a secret weapon in your back pocket.
I'm all ears. Tell me more about this secret weapon.
One of their coolest features analyzes job descriptions with laser focus, using AI to pinpoint the exact skills you need to highlight in your application.
Hmm.
It's like having a personal career coach whispering insider tips. Okay, that's seriously cool. It's like having a secret decoder ring for job postings. So it helps you, like, tailor your application to each specific job you're going for.
Exactly. It goes through tons of data, looking at your work history, your skills, and even the specific words and phrases used in the job description. Then it gives you personalized recommendations to make your application shine. It's all about increasing your chances of getting noticed.
That's amazing. It sounds like it takes a lot of the guesswork out of applying for jobs. No more wondering if you're using the right buzzwords or highlighting the right skills.
And that's not all. They even have a feature that helps you prep for interviews.
Oh, tell me they have AI that can, sit in on your interview for you.
Well, not quite. But they do offer a huge library of practice interview questions, and get this, they're tailored specifically to the consultant social worker role. It's like having a cheat sheet for your interview, but, way more ethical.
That's incredible. I bet those practice questions are super helpful for calming those pre-interview jitters, too. Speaking of calming jitters, the RoleCatcher guide also breaks down the typical career path of a consultant social worker. It's one thing to know the end goal, but it's so helpful to see the steps along the way, right?
It's like a roadmap showing you the different routes you can take to reach your destination.
Exactly. So walk us through it. Where does someone typically start on their journey to becoming a consultant social worker?
Well, most begin as assistant social workers, working directly with individuals and families. They're the ones assisting senior social workers, getting a feel for the work, and building a strong foundation for their careers.
So it's all about hands-on experience from the get-go.
Absolutely. It's like an apprenticeship for social work. They're conducting assessments, developing care plans, and getting right into the thick of it, alongside more experienced professionals.
Sounds like a great way to learn the ropes and figure out what areas of social work really resonate with you.
And to give you a better picture, RoleCatcher actually provides a sample profile of someone at this stage. Think of someone fresh out of college, maybe even working on their master's degree, eager to make a difference. They're gaining valuable experience, collaborating with other professionals, and soaking up all that knowledge like a sponge.
I love that. It's so helpful to see these concrete examples of what each stage might look like. So once you've paid your dues as an assistant social worker, what comes next?
The next step is usually stepping into the role of a social worker, where you take on more responsibility and leadership.
So they're moving from assisting to leading. That's a pretty big jump.
It is, but it's a natural progression as you gain experience and expertise. They're conducting their own assessments, creating care plans, and providing direct support to clients, including counseling and advocacy.
It sounds like they're really starting to make their mark at this stage. And the RoleCatcher guide provides a sample profile for this level too, right?
It does. Imagine someone with a master's degree under their belt, a few years of experience, and additional certifications in areas like trauma-informed care or crisis intervention. They're becoming specialists in their own right.
They're not just following the playbook anymore. They're starting to write their own chapters.
Exactly. At this stage, they might also be involved in policy development, attending training sessions, or even leading workshops to share their knowledge with others.
They're becoming the mentors now, guiding the next generation of social workers.
Precisely. And that brings us to the next rung on the ladder, the senior social worker.
Okay, so they've moved from the trenches to the front lines, and now they're taking on a more strategic role.
You got it. Leadership and mentorship become central at this level. They're overseeing assessments, managing complex cases, providing supervision to junior staff, and ensuring that their organization's social work practices are top-notch.
It sounds like a pretty demanding job. The sample profile for this stage really emphasizes those leadership qualities. It talks about someone with a doctorate in social work, certifications in advanced clinical supervision, and a proven track record of delivering exceptional service.
They've earned their stripes and become the go-to experts in their field.
So after conquering the world of senior social work, you finally reach the peak, consultant social worker. What sets this role apart from being a senior social worker? It seems like they're already doing so much.
You're right, there's definitely overlap, but a consultant social worker operates on a broader, more strategic level. Think of them as the architects of change within the field. They're leading large-scale projects, influencing policy development at a higher level, designing and delivering training programs, and often contributing to research that shapes the future of social work.
So they've zoomed out from the day-to-day work with clients to focus on creating change on a larger scale.
Exactly. They might be consulting with organizations to improve their social work practices, advocating for policy changes at the local, state, or even national level, or publishing research that pushes the entire field forward.
It sounds like a pretty influential position.
It is. And RoleCatcher's sample profile for a consultant social worker reflects that. We're talking about someone with a doctorate, advanced certifications, extensive experience, and a deep-seated passion for creating positive change. They're the thought leaders, the innovators, and the mentors shaping the future of social work.
It's amazing how RoleCatcher provides these detailed breakdowns for so many different career paths. It's one thing to look up a job title, but it's another thing entirely to understand how you get there, what each stage entails, and what you can expect along the way.
It's about demystifying the career journey and empowering people to make informed decisions.
Speaking of informed decisions, do they offer resources for people considering a career change into social work?
They do, and it's one of the coolest aspects of their platform. They have this feature called transferable skills. Sometimes you have experience that seems unrelated to the job you want, but you just know it's valuable.
Oh, totally. Like maybe you were a teacher and now you're interested in social work. Well, those skills seem totally different, but you're working with people, solving problems, and advocating for others in both roles.
Exactly. RoleCatcher's transferable skills feature helps connect those dots. It analyzes your existing skills and experience, then shows you how they apply to your desired career path, even if it seems like a big leap.
So it helps you translate your skills for a brand new audience. It's so smart.
It's all about showing potential employers that your past experience is valuable, even if it's not directly related to social work.
It's like RoleCatcher's your personal hype person for your career change, showing off all your hidden talents. I love it.
That's a great way to put it. It's about empowerment, plain and simple. RoleCatcher gives you the tools and information you need to take control of your career destiny.
You mentioned empowerment, and it reminds me of something we touched on earlier, the potential for burnout in this field. It's a demanding career path, and it's great that RoleCatcher doesn't shy away from that. But do they offer any advice or resources for maintaining a healthy work-life balance? Those self-care strategies that are so crucial in a field like social work.
While they don't have resources dedicated solely to burnout prevention, their overall focus on self-awareness and career management indirectly provides tools that can help. For example, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, setting realistic expectations, and planning your career strategically can all contribute to a healthier approach to work.
That makes sense. By being more intentional and mindful about your career, you're less likely to get swept up in the intensity and more likely to prioritize your well-being. It's like they're saying, hey, we want you to succeed in this field long-term, and that means taking care of yourself.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that sustainability is key to a fulfilling career, especially in a field as demanding as, social work.
And that brings up a really interesting question. What does it actually mean to have a successful career? It's so easy to get caught up in titles and promotions, but it sounds like RoleCatcher encourages a more holistic view.
They do, and I think that's a really important takeaway from our, deep dive today. Being a consultant social worker, or any kind of social worker for that matter, it isn't just a job, it's a calling. It's about aligning your passion with your profession and using your skills to make a real difference in the world.
It's about finding fulfillment in improving the lives of others, which might, look different for everyone.
Absolutely. For one person, success might be seeing a client achieve a major milestone. For another, it might be influencing a policy that creates, positive change on a larger scale. And for someone else, it might be mentoring the next generation of social workers.
It's about defining success on your own terms, based on what truly matters to you.
Precisely. And that's something I encourage anyone listening to consider, regardless of their chosen field.
That's such a powerful message. I think we've covered a ton of ground today, from the day-to-day realities of being a consultant social worker to the bigger picture of what it means to have a fulfilling and impactful career.
Wow.
So for anyone listening who's feeling inspired to learn more, what's one final piece of advice you'd offer?
Don't be afraid to, reach out to consultant social workers in your area.
Yeah.
Networking is so valuable. And most people are happy to share their experiences. Ask them about their journeys, their challenges, their rewards, Get a feel for what the work is really like.
There's nothing like hearing it straight from the source.
Yeah.
Right. Those real-life stories can be so much more powerful than any, job description.
Exactly. And who knows, you might even find a mentor who can guide you along the way.
It's all about taking that first step and reaching out. Well, I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today. If this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, don't stop here. Check out RoleCatcher's website, connect with social workers in your community, and see if this path aligns with your own values and aspirations. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.